Tony, let's talk about it, the experience, man. Main event in Mexico. Got to be big for you. I got to imagine the energy right now is really special for you.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, man. I finally got my little main event here poster. I'm pretty stoked on it, and well-deserved, and I'm aiming for good stuff after this.
No doubt. Now, you came out early to get acclimated. Smart move. I think we've seen, fighting here in Mexico City is the real deal, but what's the vibe been like? Because it seems like you've been out, and watching your social media. You've been like out on the streets, soaking in the culture, soaking in the sights. What's it been like for you?
It's been absolutely amazing. Going from Big Bear, which was pretty sad to see. I built that facility by myself with the help of my team and Eddie Bravo and the rest of the crew. I didn't have my handhelds, man. This was something different that no other fighter's ever been able to do, and I took great pride in that. I built Snapdown City Academy, my private facility, and once I said bye to that, I came out here to Mexico City. And the people are very nice, the food is really good, and the vibe and the aura here is just something different, man. I can really feel it, and I've been missing this for a long time.
That's awesome. Talk about Big Bear. Some of the videos I saw at the Academy. Give me the idea. What was the concept? Who came up with that? Why did you do it that way? Because it seems like a very kind of non-traditional approach to training.
Well, I have a private facility out in Orange County at my house, and it's pretty nice, man. And I built everything from my ring to my mirrors to absolutely wooden floors to green turf. I did it by hand, and I was awesome with it. I've been a contractor my whole life, but mostly an apprentice. This time I turned master. I took all the stuff that I really needed that was in my private facility gym, and I brought it up to Big Bear. I spent probably around like 14 hours on the computer looking up the highest point in Big Bear, the property that was the best looking, that could house up to like 14 different types of people, and I brought it, man. I left no screw unscrewed and left no seam unseamed. Everything was flush and plumb. I had a barrier so nobody could see exactly what I was doing inside my spot, and as you can see on a lot of the videos, hashtag Camp Kukui and Snapdown City Academy. That was my blueprint for all the gyms that I'm going to present around the world that really need my wrestling and my style.
That's awesome. It's been fun to watch. Do you think that's a style of training that you'll continue to do, or was that something special because of Mexico City?
Absolutely not. I don't really worry about like anybody, and what they're doing, and I always worry about what I'm doing. I'm a boss and I'm a leader, but I'm not the one that's cracking the whip. I'm the one that's leading these guys and inspiring them and motivating them to go and pursue their own dream. Be better than me. Do what I did and times it by 20,000. And what I did in Big Bear and the looks that I got from people, even from the UFC, and climbing these mountains and carrying some of the camera equipment with them, and doing these type of things and having and inspiring my team to do that as well. And coaching these guys, and when I made it to the top, going back down, getting the last guy and bringing them back up to the top. That's something that's been instilled in me for a very long time. And every single night I come out here and I run my miles. I run about 5 miles a night, and I keep my legs fresh, and I run down to the Angel of Independence, and I see all these hard workers that are working hard at night and to support their families. And I crack up because I have a bunch of mentors that motivate me. And I said one time, I remember, I said, I miss my family. And my buddy from Shaolin Kung Fu, Five Animals, tells me, and he was like that, he was a regular G.I. Joe, first in, last out. And he told me, yeah, I remember missing my family when I was out in Afghanistan, 3 tours. It kind of set me in my own place because for me, what I do is easy now. I enjoy this and with a passion and with a pride. And once I'm done with this, when I'm old and I'm torn and tattered and my body's torn up, I'm gonna walk away knowing that that's what's up, because there's so many other people out there doing things that for my freedom and for your freedom and everybody else's, to be able to do what we love the best, is to represent our sport and our countries. And right now I'm representing 2, not just the United States, but Mexico as well.
That's awesome, man. That's real well said. I know that your goal is eventually to be at the title, but this run that you're on right now, man, do you ever step back and look at what you've already accomplished and just say, good Lord, man, look at where I'm at right now?
I never look at that. That's something that I always keep pushing forward and keep moving forward, and I try to pay it forward. Not just to myself, I try to bring in these young talents that come in here to see what I'm doing, so that way they can take over the reins one day, and they can take my system, a style of fighting, and they can present it in their own way. Because at Snapdown City Academy, it's about growing, it's about learning, and it's about being better than your old passive self. And for me to go out there and to demonstrate everything that I did inside that camp. And it might seem reckless to everybody and that I might not have a plan, but it's all meticulous and it's very timed out and very precise. And all of my training staff, they all know it. And we're very proud of what we've done. And you guys are going to be in for a real treat on November 5th. And we're all lucky it's on free TV.
That's right, man. Well, you've been putting on shows lately anyway. Your last 2 fights especially were fantastic, very entertaining, but tough ones for you too, man. You went through a couple of wars. I want to know what kind of lessons you took out of that, because they were fun to watch. You cashed some extra checks, but I can't imagine you want to do that every single time out.
Choking necks, cashing checks, yeah. It's my thing, man, and I really don't look forward to it, man. What I do is I just do my best, and I go out there, and I know I'm going to get hit. You know, the last 2 fights, you know, I had a couple of things in my family, a couple of debts. I bought a house, had a kid, you know, and I was remodeling my house, playing Bob the Builder, because my focus was somewhere else. I wanted to provide something for my family much better than what I've had. And I never had any needs. I had a lot of wants, but my parents always took care of me, and I want to present that to my kid. Because my father wasn't in the picture. He jammed out. There was no place for him in that. So for me, I grew up with a lot of hate and a lot of anger. So I want to present something to my kid and not let him have any kind of near nothing towards that. And so for me, I wanted to make sure that I was building my house and my energies were somewhere else, being a father, being a husband, and being whatever I needed to be at that time. And preparing for Khabib and preparing for Michael Chiesa, let's talk about tempos. Completely different. You have a bear and you have a sloth. And now we were fighting Hammy the Squirrel. Completely different. And I wasn't surprised at how it went, because I was going to choke him out round 2 like I always do. And that's where it's at.
So where's your head at right now, man? Because I know your family's important. I've seen it firsthand, and being a father myself, I know how much that changes your life. So where is your head at right now? I mean, are you learning to be more selfish and take care of yourself, or are you still like putting things out for them? Where are you at?
It's a very selfish sport. You have to be. Look at it. Look at how long and how far I've come. Everybody keeps adding the numbers, but I'm always looking at what's better than the fight at hand, the next number, which is 12-1. And with my family at hand, they know what I represent, and I represent faith, family, friends, baby. And I've always got their back, and they always have my back. My wife and I, we have a relationship with our son, which is amazing. And we're very lucky, man, to be able to do what I love. But like I said, once I lose the passion for this sport, I'm gonna walk away. And I'm gonna be able to do it no matter what. I'm not in it for the money, buddy. It's something that I love to do, and you guys can see that when I go out there and I paint that picture. And I still have that passion, so I'm gonna still kick some ass.
That's awesome. Let's talk about Rafael Dos Anjos, obviously a former champion. That speaks for itself. I mean, a tough guy. What do you see? I mean, he's coming off a tough loss, man. I mean, he had a hard one there. What do you see? I mean, do you see a guy that's lost a step, that's broken any, or what do you see in him?
I see quit. I've seen him quit in his video. I've seen when he fought a couple people, and I saw him go in the corner frustrated. And I do that to every fighter that I fight. Barbosa, Thompson, those are the 2 best fights that I've ever had, because they gave me what I wanted, which was a fight. Now, RDA hasn't talked a lot of crap because he knows that's something I always love. When people talk crap, I'm quiet. And I'm just gonna let them think, oh man, what's he doing? And for RDA, his focus completely somewhere else. He's worried about his new gym. He's worried about Pro Max sponsorships and all this other bullshit. I'm right there knee deep. I really don't care about my sponsorships, because the only ones I really mess with are the ones that have always been with me. DFX Sports, now Pure Body Logics. And I got cutting weight suits, and these dudes are making sure that I have the tools that I need to succeed on my way to victory. And I'm representing much more than myself. I'm representing 2 different countries, so the weight on the shoulders, I got some big shoulders. And with RDA, man, I see quit in his face. And he's worrying about his coach and his gym, like I said, and he's looking past me, not through me. I'm looking through his ass. Maybe he took a page out of my book, because he's been following me on Twitter, my Periscope, and my Instagram, and liking all my stuff before he even fought Anthony Pettis. And he was one of those guys that was a fan of me because he was asking me to help him train. And I said no, son. I was like, I can't do it because it's a conflict of interest. I was like, nothing against you, it's just business. And I'm here to do a job, man. I'm a contractor, and I'm very good at what I do. And I like to paint that picture for everybody, because I'm an entertainer. And his focus, I'm not really worried about his focus. It's something that my pops, Jeff, back in Michigan, told me. He was like, you know what, son? He's like, don't go to the wrestling chart and look at who they are, where they're from, and what they're about. He said, you got to worry about what's at hand. And this dude's got so much in his mind, and he's got so much that he wants to get back in that spotlight and make the checks and do all this and blah, blah, blah. Me, I'm having fun, my friend. And I'm still smiling, and I'm going to be smiling that fight too.
That's awesome. I know you're just worried about the task at hand, but it's an interesting time in your division right now. You know, we got Alvarez and McGregor, we got Nurmagomedov and Johnson. That's all, in the next, week or so. How do you see this whole thing playing out? Because I know you want to hold that title, man. How do you see this thing going? I mean, you get a win. Does it matter what happens in those fights, or do you have to have certain things happen? How do you see your chance happening?
I hope they all knock each other out. Straight up. I mean, like quadruple KOs, like seriously, double KOs. Only because I don't care. You never hear my name in their mouth. Khabib's dad knows I'm the only dude that can beat him. You see it all the time in the interviews. I try not to read up on the stuff. Michael Johnson, I talked to him in a lobby in Vegas one time. That dude wants no part of me. McNuggets doesn't call me out. He's better than that, I guess. I don't know. He's a 3-trick pony. He's got a blue belt. Come to Snap Down City Academy, homie. I'll teach you a couple things. And what I got for those dudes, they don't want any part of it. And I'm a threat in this division. I'm a threat at 145 too, because I'm pretty good at it. I can cut that weight and make it. And I can jump back up to 170, and I have the frame for 185. So me, when in college, I always wanted to be a multi-All-American. I was 2-time. I wanted to be a 4-time. So what I did was I hurt one of our guys by shooting a low single and hurt his leg. So I had to bump up 2 weight classes in order to help the team because I'm a team player. This is an individual sport and I trust my team to get me where I need to be in victory. And no matter what weight class I'm at or whoever I'm fighting, they're gonna get the best Tony Ferguson that's at hand. No doubt about it, I mean really, because I train every single fight like it's a title fight. And I'm not playing Bob the Builder no more. I'm here for real.
That's awesome, man. Well, it sounds like we got some options on the table for you in the future, but Saturday night, man, when you play this thing out in your head, you envision it, how does this thing go down?
I see it going down in the finish. Whether knockout or submission, I'm gonna aim for bloody. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna cut this guy with my elbows. He's gonna try to shoot in, I'm gonna give him a straight old coach elbow. And he's gonna get it right in his forehead. So he might try to hit me with some knees and some other stuff. I do hard body conditioning, baby. You hit me with everything that you got, and you give me the fight that I want. You better bring that shit, RDA.